Hey, what's up? It is Tuesday. S&P, NASDAQ, trading above their all-time record closing highs. Not the all-time record high, but we are very close to that as well. So, who told you that? I've been telling you, and I told you going way back, even in the November, December correction, market correction. You should go back and watch some of those videos. And especially read some of the ridiculous comments that some of you left here at that time, back in November and December. Ha ha, Mike, you're so wrong. The market's going to collapse. This is the next 2008, 2009 financial crash. You don't know what you're talking about. You're all wrong. You're wrong every day. You're constantly wrong. I said, buy that correction. And I said, fiscal support was massive. Bank credit was not only expanding, it was accelerating at the time, telling us many things. Number one, that demand was strong in the economy for credit. That is a barometer of economic activity. And that continued to happen. In addition, I was showing you how tax revenues were starting to accelerate higher. That is not an indication of a slowdown in the economy. We looked at unemployment benefits being paid out, which were falling year over year. So less benefits being paid out, another sign of strength in the labor market. All of these things. This is applied MMT. You know what's funny? Like some of these MMT people, they were bearish at the time. They were ignoring their own understandings of the monetary system and how the economy functions. Some are still bearish. I think they've just completely given up and have just taken some sort of a, political or ideological point of view to make some statement. But I stayed very objective on all of this. I said I had many subscribers who canceled in November and December crying. You told me to buy and it went down some more. And I said, do not get emotional. You know, fear, everybody has fear. I have fear. Everybody has fear. But you have to learn to control your fear. You have to learn to control your emotions. Fear is like fire. It can be helpful at times because it can alert you to a dangerous situation, a true dangerous situation. Okay? Or it can hurt you by allowing it to overtake you and to cause your emotions to flare up out of control and cause you to behave in a way that sabotages what you are trying to do, which ostensibly I think is to make profits as a trader. So many of you are like that, and so many who quit my service in November and December are like that as well. And I've said many times that a lot of these people actually, they don't understand what their true motivation is. They think their motivation is to make money, when in reality it is not. For many of them, the motivation is just the action. They want the action. That becomes plainly obvious when I see people who don't have the patience to stick things out. But getting back to fear, everybody has fear. Fear is natural. Even people who are brave, who are considered brave, have fear. They face fear, they rise above it, they control it. You have to learn how to control fear, and that means controlling your emotions. I've said many times in the past that the market can do nothing to you. You do whatever it is you do to yourself as a consequence of your actions, as a consequence of your behavior. I try to be very objective. I use all the concepts and principles of MMT. There are going to be times when market movements look like they are going contrary to the fundamentals based on the true, correct understanding of what is happening in the economy. By that I mean the implications of policy, the effects of policy, and what is driving the economy. There are going to be times when the market moves in an opposite direction of what the underlying fundamentals would suggest, and it makes it look like the fundamentals are wrong. But remember, the market is a collection of millions upon millions of people acting, and it is subject to their behavior at times. And that's why there can be periods when it looks like, hey, that's wrong. The market's crashing, Mike, don't you see it? You are wrong. No, I am not wrong. That was an episode of highly emotional behavior. You have to understand how to separate that out. Look, it was obvious to me because I saw it plainly through the actions and the behaviors and the comments made by my subscribers, by people on this channel. It was very, very obvious. Very obvious. Now, all along, even as recently as a week ago, maybe a few days ago, I said the market was going to make new all-time highs. Here we are. And we are going to continue to go up. Yes, there will be corrections. There will be periods of a soft patch in the economy for whatever reason, and we have to look every year at the developments with the budgets and government spending, because those are very, very fundamental to the big picture. But that doesn't happen until the end of September. And then these cycles, these political cycles, every 2 years a congressional election, every 4 years a presidential election, the policy that emanates from those political cycles. Looking at the markets on a day-to-day basis is absurd. Looking at the markets on a week-to-week basis is absurd. On a month-to-month basis. These are at least 2-year or 4-year cycles just based on the political, situation that we have here. And longer. Trump may win another term. 8 years then. So you have to be able to control your emotions. You have to focus on the fundamentals. You have to trust in your analysis, and that means really have an understanding of policy and the impact of policy, which I get through my understanding of MMT. And I go beyond the MMT academics out there. I mean, you never hear them talking about the banking situation and reserve flows, these changes in reserves, that I have a very, very unique handle on that aspect. I actually distilled it down into very short-term trading opportunities from these reserve flows. What the Treasury spends, how that goes into the banking system, then what the Treasury taxes, how that pulls out of the banking system, and what the effect is on banks, on their balance sheets, on their asset accumulation. All that stuff. You don't get it anywhere else. So yeah, I called this, absolutely called this. And I'm telling you, it's going to go higher. There's going to be corrections. As a matter of fact, I just sent out an email to subscribers today telling them when the next correction was going to happen. I already know this. Based on this understanding, this MMT understanding. So, if you want this stuff, and I don't know who wouldn't. I mean, I have people who say, Mike, I can't use this stuff, which basically is the same thing as saying, Mike, I want to continue guessing, or I want to stay ignorant, or I do not want to be informed, or I do not want to have the correct understanding of the monetary system and economics. It is not helpful to me to have knowledge. Basically, you're saying that, okay? But for those of you who'd rather have knowledge and understanding and mental game, come over here. pitbulleconomics.com. Sign up for a 30-day free trial of MMT Trader. Bye.